Pick up the latest print edition of PressBox. It's our largest ever, featuring a 12-page commemorative section highlighting the Ravens' run to the Super Bowl. It's presented by Maryland Live Casino. Pick up one free at your local newsstand or read it right now at PressBoxOnline.com. And welcome back to Inside PressBox. Each month, PressBox has a second Thursday luncheon that is held on, ironically enough, second Thursday of the month over at Padonia Station. There's a buffet lunch and some good sports talk, all for $14.99. 2 weeks ago, we held a preview of Division I men's lacrosse with four of the leading coaches from the sport: Johns Hopkins' Dave Petramala, UMBC's Don Zimmerman, and two men who are just starting their second season around these parts as head men of their programs, Towson's Shawn Nadelen and Rick Sowell of Navy. It seemed appropriate, in light of Loyola's winning the national championship, that I asked them what that did for the hope of their programs.
I know at Towson we didn't see it that way. I think it was just an opportunity where Loyola, they've been in national championship games before, they've been in Final Four, so it wasn't like they were some upstart program, coming into their own. They a very competitive, very top-ranked program almost every year. We see as ourselves, obviously aspiring to get there, especially at Towson, and a program right down the street that we continually play against, as well as all these teams here, sitting beside me. You just focus on, what you need to do to improve yourselves to obviously get to that level. I think it gives every program in the country, hope, as far as, I think it was how Loyola did it and kind of the style they played and the energy and the tempo. They kind of, what we're talking about with the rule changes and how fast the game is being played now, they were kind of a year ahead last year than I think than everybody in playing that and being able to execute at a high level with a high tempo, and that really propelled them to being able to win that championship. And you're seeing that a lot more apparent this year, I think, with the way the rules are.
Rick, Nadelen's Tigers are off to a rough 0-2 start and are playing last year's champions, the Loyola Greyhounds, as we tape this program. But last year, Coach Nadelen's squad featured a goals against average 7.88, which was good enough for 9th in the country among D1 coaches. I asked the same question of Rick Sowell of Navy.
There's just so many more athletes playing the sport these days, and Division I, there's more and more programs over the last couple of years, but we don't have a lot of teams in our division. And with so many kids playing in our country, and then you add in the influx from Canada and how they've impacted the game over the last 4 or 5 years, there's a lot of good players out there. Every team has good players, and it's just a matter of catching a break or two. My Stony Brook team, we were goal away from getting to the Final Four a couple of years ago, and of course Denver went to the Final Four most recently. Finding more and more teams getting to the Final Four. I know UMass a number of years ago, Delaware, more teams are getting to the tournament. A team like Villanova a couple of years ago had a good run, and there's just more and more good players. There's not a ton of teams in our division, at our level. And so, Johns Hopkins and Virginia and the big boys, if you will, are getting theirs. But there's enough good players. If you recruit well, you can put together a couple good recruiting classes and competing for the national championship. I mean, that's hard to do. But certainly competing for the NCAA tournament now, you're seeing again more and more teams different teams making it to the tournament, and I think it's parity. it's only going to get even more competitive. I think this year, let alone in the years to come.
And well said, Coach Sowell, a very impressive guy who, after a solid 6-year run at Stony Brook, came in last year to Navy, replacing local legend Richie Meade, and led the midshipmen to a 6-6 record, their first 500 or better season since 2009. This coming month, on March the 14th, second Thursday, we'll welcome Ravens Vice President of Public and Community Relations, our friend Kevin Byrne, who will regale us with stories of the Ravens' second ever Super Bowl run. In addition, Jim Snuffy Smith, local basketball expert, will have a special preview of this year's 64-team NCAA field. For tickets and information on second Thursday, go go to PressBoxOnline.com. When we return, just enough time for our photo of the week and a few final comments, so hang in there. Our friends at ShopRite in Timonium have a great offer. Pick up this month's copy of PressBox and go to page 32 for your coupon for a free pack of Klondike ice cream bars.